Well, also, our guest this morning is Katherine Nuyens, and Katherine is, she's a holistic practitioner and a spiritual healing practitioner, and her organization, her company is called Empowering Change. So welcome to Morning Coffee, Katherine. It's nice to see you again. I realized that I met Katherine about a couple of months ago when she was hosting a book signing. So
thank you.
now
I'm
you're
really
on Morning
glad to
Coffee,
be
so
here.
we're happy to have you here.
Thank you.
So I think Taylor has a question for you.
How did you start your practice?
I started Empowering Change back in 1998. I had been a teacher and a school counselor for 25 years, and then it wasn't fun anymore. When I started my 25th year, I cried, and I thought, uh-oh, this is not good, because I'm a passionate teacher. So in November, I actually asked the angels during a meditation to give me a clear sign that I needed to do something else. The next day in the mail, I received a free sample of an angel tarot card.
Get up.
It said surrender.
Oh boy.
It wasn't going to get any more clear than that.
Right.
So I finished the year off. So I had 25 years in. I bought out early retirement. And then I didn't know what I was going to do the rest of my life. And you know how the ego gets very busy. Katherine, what are you going to do the rest of your life? You only know how to teach. You only know counseling. I put out to the universe different qualities that I wanted in my ideal job. One day, I listened to a gal that was doing hypnosis for a child actually, that was doing artistic work. And all of a sudden, she was blocked. So during hypnosis, she was fed all this information about creativity. I thought I'd be like a Wayne Dyer for kids. He's a spiritual teacher. So I went to her in case I had any blocks to writing. But when I was finished, she said, I'm teaching people how to do hypnosis. Why don't you join us? Goosebumps up and down my spine. That's how I got started.
Yeah, interesting. So you are a hypnotherapist or a hypnocounselor? And you've been doing that for how many years
Since
now?
98.
Since 98.
And actually I've added a lot of different modalities to the hypnosis.
Well, let's talk a little bit about hypnosis, if you don't mind. Everybody knows what the word is, but I think a lot of people think hypnosis, you're out, awake, bark like a dog, quack like a duck, that kind of thing. So let's dispel that myth.
But isn't that what it is? You can do that, though.
Well, you can do that to Keith later, okay?
And first of all, I just want to ask, too, you didn't teach him at law, right?
No.
Okay, I just want to make sure none of my kids were responsible for your
Or your
retirement.
wife. Or your wife.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, but you can do those things with hypnosis.
It's like stage hypnosis.
Yeah, stage hypnosis. I do clinical hypnosis.
Yes.
There is a difference.
There's a big difference.
All right, talk to
Yes.
us about what's the difference.
Yeah.
So in clinical hypnosis, we're either one. You're working with the subconscious mind because we act out of the conscious mind. We act out of the subconscious mind, and it's like an iceberg, and we act out of all those beliefs below.
Yes.
And so in hypnosis, we're working with that subconscious mind to give it new information. Some people go very deep. Some people are in the middle. Some people go very lightly. We used to think that you had to go deep. It's not true. Even people that go light, because the subconscious mind is always taking in new information. So that's what we do. We work with that subconscious mind to give the subconscious mind new ideas to act on.
Positive ideas.
Positive ideas.
Now, let me ask you a question. Is that similar to us daydreaming? Because you kind of go into hypnosis.
Absolutely, you do.
Okay.
And that's why a lot of people will visualize what they want in their future. They see it, but even more important than seeing it is feeling it. The subconscious mind really acts on what you feel. So I know you created the dream of this show.
Absolutely.
You probably visualized it, you felt it.
I visualize food more, but I
True.
do.
He
Yes,
is a
I
foodie.
do. I am a foodie. I visualize when I get up in the morning. I visualize.
He thinks about what he's going to eat all
breakfast
day.
sandwich. When I should be eating my yogurt with chia seeds. in it.
Yes.
So
So you started a hypnosis practice.
Yes.
Now, do you work with adults and children?
Adults and children both.
Okay.
I have more adults than children, but I do work with children at times.
Okay. That's great. And I think the other myth is people think that when you are under hypnosis, you are totally asleep. That's not necessarily true.
No, some people, like people that go deep,
Will, right?
when I'm through with hypnotizing someone, I always ask them, how many minutes do you think you were in hypnosis?
Yeah.
I usually keep them 30 minutes. Everybody says, oh, about 10 minutes.
Oh, no kidding.
So they're
That's
not
great.
sleeping, but they're deep and they don't realize, you know, the time.
Because they're very relaxed.
They're very
It's really about relaxation.
It really is.
Yeah.
And some people are unable to relax and they're like amazed, like, oh my gosh, I don't want to come back.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say your favorite part about hypnosis is?
Well, just because you can see how people can change their perception about things. And I use hypnosis with other modalities, but people have really improved their life because of the work that they do.
You know, Katherine, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back. I got some more interesting stuff to talk about.
Thank you.
Can you hypnotize him on break?
In a world where bankers have lost all interest, where robots and fat cats rule our fortunes, one woman
Hi.
will stand up and strive to do the impossible. Be treated like a person. Friends and neighbors will join her quest. Ordinary people will band together against the forces of corporate greed. And together they will form Philadelphia Federal Credit Union, already in a neighborhood near you.
Imagine the finest hand-selected USDA prime steak you'll ever have. The freshest line-caught seafood, our Wine Spectator award-winning wine list, and soul-satisfying desserts. Bring that together with the perfect date, the winning business deal, a memorable family celebration. Welcome to Rod's Steak and Seafood Grill in nearby Morristown, New Jersey. Bring your appetite and feed your passion.
Your credit score is yours, and at Experian Credit Expert, we want to help you really use it. With access to helpful Experian experts over the phone and online, we can help you use it to get a better idea of what info the banks have on you. Use it to get more choice of mortgages. Use it to make your money go further. Take the next step to improving your financial future with your free 30-day trial at Experian.co.uk.
Here at Freppy's Tex-Mex, you can definitely taste the freshness in our food. You should definitely come to Freppy's because it's a great place. You can bring your family, very kid-friendly. All my servers are amazing, friendly people. Everyone here is just happy to serve, and I think it shows. The thing that sets us apart is the quality and freshness of our food. And I think once you try it, you'd be coming back. I'm Joe DeSario, co-owner of Freppy's Tex-Mex in Plainfield, New Jersey.
Hey there, everybody. This is Scott Tanker, host of Lunch with the Boss on RadioVisionNetwork.com. I want you to visit me each and every Thursday from 12:30 to 1 o'clock, where we have special guests talking about the dynamics between employees and employers. We talk about their business. We let our audience know, that's you folks, what these businesses are all about and how we can make the working environment better, while at the same time learning about local businesses here in the Delaware Valley. So, I'm host of Lunch with the Boss. My name is Scott Tanker. I want to see you here every Thursday from 12:30 to 1 o'clock. Be there or be square. Thanks a lot.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sidney Cohen. I'm a psychologist in New Jersey. I'm the host of a show called Heading in the Right Direction, which will be appearing on internet TV station Radio Vision Network. It's a show that's going to cover a wide range of psychological subjects. I think you'll be very interested in the subjects. I'm also going to have the opportunity to send me emails, ask me some questions. I'll answer questions, and I very much look forward to you tuning in. I'm very excited to do this. Thank you.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
I'm Keith Reynolds, host of Morning Coffee. I'm here with my two show co-hosts, Charlene and Taylor. Welcome. For you viewers who are just tuning in to us. So ladies, we have pretty interesting stuff going on.
We do. We're digging into hypnotherapy, hypno-counseling with Katherine Nuyens. But I think, Taylor, you might have a question for her. We were talking on the break a little bit about it.
What problems do people come to you for?
I do a lot of anxiety and stress. But before I work with anyone, the first thing I do is I use kinesiology to ask the body questions. Because when I started my work, I found out I had fear of change, I had fear of failure, I had fear of success. But it wasn't conscious, it was all subconscious. I just knew the questions to ask. So I was able to change that. So when somebody comes into me, the first thing I do is teach them kinesiology, and then I ask, are all parts of you willing to change? Is it safe for all parts to change? And do all parts deserve to change? We have the child, the teen, and the adult. And I want to make sure all parts are in alignment, and usually they are not.
So are you saying that there's a child in every one of us?
There's the child.
Even though we're adults?
Oh, come on, you know that.
I knew that.
It's the part that wants to play.
And you know what? I'll always have a kid in me. That's how I am. But I mean, I think some people
are very childlike all the time in their
all the
adult
time.
life.
I think some people don't, though. They're. I don't think it's. They might not realize that that's it, or they might not be an issue in their lives. But
I believe that adults forget how to play.
They do.
They really do. And playing spurs creativity.
Right, because we're going to, after this, we're going to go out and play on the puddles.
We are. Going out and run around in the rain.
Absolutely. You know, you got to want to get up and maybe play ball tag once in a while. So
go down the slides and swing on the swings.
Right.
I love that.
That's right.
Well, I have to tell you, I work out every day, and I usually do a 2-mile walk, and I walk past the park, and I go on the swing for about 10 minutes.
It's fun.
By myself. I do. Almost every day.
The child
that
is
really
true.
wants
I
to
do
play.
that.
Yeah.
Did you hypnotize her to get her to come out and say that stuff?
Oh, it's true.
You know, so Katherine, when someone comes to you, right, obviously have some type of issue, kind of walk us through what to expect. I mean, because to me, I was always like thinking about someone hypnotizing, I'd be scared too, because I would feel like I could never get back into myself again. So, does a person have to accept being hypnotized?
They have to agree to want to do it.
Okay.
All hypnosis is actually self-hypnosis. So in other words, I can't put somebody into hypnosis, but I guide them through a relaxation that allows them to go into hypnosis. And I use a very lengthy process because they don't have to try. Because I was one of those people that tried too hard. And so when I use this process, it works for every single person because they don't have to try. And I continually say that. It's really boring. And what happens is because it's so boring, the subconscious mind just gives up.
Right.
So it happens. And what I do is their hands are in their lap. They have a blanket over them. When I get to the end of the process, what I do is I come up to them and I say, I'm now going to lift your wrist. Let me do all the lifting. As I drop it into your lap, you'll be at the exact depth that you need to be in hypnosis. And it's always loose and limp, and I know they're there.
Now, do they remember being under hypnosis?
Some people that go very light, they actually hear every word. And I say, that's good. You heard everything I said. Some people that go deep, they drift in and out. So it depends on the person.
So, I guess find fascinating is there are things that people stick with them for a lifetime. And to get some of that stuff out, it's almost like you're unlocking like a chamber. I guess it could be kind of dangerous at times, maybe as far as depending on what you're unlocking, maybe a violent time in their life, stuff like that. I mean, do you come across that?
Only in past life regression.
I was just going to say that.
No, that's not really true. I have had some experiences with people that when I regress them to where something began,
Traumatic.
It was traumatic.
So you
So
take
I have
their
to
hands
be
together,
prepared. Yes,
to make
yes.
sure.
To guide them through it.
To guide them through it, exactly.
Well, that's got to be deep. I mean, I think that, do you feel that people that develop stress in the period of now, their time in their life? Is it easier to kind of get them to come out of that versus someone that's had scarring when they're when they were a child?
Well, actually, when somebody comes to my office, I actually ask the body if I need to do inner child work, because when the child in us is healed, the adult becomes healed. But I also do what we call the emotion code body code, which is, well, it was created by a chiropractor, and it's actually a computer program, but by using the kinesiology, I can find out what is underneath the issue they come in for. I can find out the trapped emotions, because now we know that everything that has to do with disease has to do with the emotions that are underneath that disease. So I can find out what's underneath the issue. Sometimes it's the mental things that we say to ourselves. And again, it's our programming. We have sabotage that happens to us.
Oh, self-sabotage.
So,
self-sabotage is huge. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back. I want to talk a little bit more. What did you call it again?
Emotion code body code.
The emotion code body code. I want to talk a little bit more about that when we come back off this break. Very good.
Here,
very good.
we have an attractive orange and a distinguished apple. The two similar, but opposites. Theory, a wingman is needed. Or perhaps a wing lemon. A friend to the orange and an acquaintance to the apple, the lemon brings the two opposites together. See, with a little fresh thinking, the universe can be surprisingly smooth.
When we make Beyond Natural dry dog and cat foods, we start with real meat as the first ingredient. We leave out corn, wheat, and soy. And we own where our dry food is made. 100%. Can other brands say all that? For nutrition you can trust and your pet will enjoy. Does your food go beyond? Learn more at purinabeyond.com.
Fitzpatrick's. Deli dine for breakfast and lunch. And at night, gourmet dine for dinner with entrees and specialty sandwiches including certified black Angus cuts of beef and wild-caught seafood, plus catering options for specialty events. Since 1989, Fitzpatrick's, your hometown place with upscale tastes.
Apple Ridge is about freedom. Apple Ridge is about community. Apple Ridge is about home. Apple Ridge, everything you want, more than you expect. Welcome to your new neighborhood. Apple Ridge Senior Living. Enjoy a maintenance-free, affordable luxury lifestyle today. Visit appleridgeseniorliving.com and find out more about the Apple Ridge experience.
Hi, I'm Jim Turpin, host of Your Best 50. Please join me every Thursday at 3:30 where we'll cover topics that are important to the baby boom generation and their kids. And let us help you make this your best 50.
Today's show has been sponsored by Farmers Insurance in Voorhees, New Jersey. To protect your assets and the people you love, call Mike Skoranek, your local Farmers Insurance agent, at 856-336-2553.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
And we're back. I'm Keith Reynolds, host of Morning Coffee, and I'm here with my show co-hosts Taylor and Charlene. And we were just talking to Katherine about, what did we call it? We called it
Emotion code body code.
Emotion code body code. Okay, and you know, during the break we were talking a little bit about what it is, and kind of give us a little bit of a rundown of what it is.
So the emotion code body code was created by a chiropractor. So it has all the information about the body and a lot of emotional things. So when somebody comes in for, let's say, anxiety, I'm able to find out what's underneath that anxiety. Sometimes it's the words that they say to themselves, but there's always what we call the trapped emotions. A lot of times it shows up as psychic trauma. Psychic trauma is when two emotions get trapped at the same time. Sometimes it actually shows up that it's in the DNA, so it's not all our stuff. Yesterday I was working with a lady that it was DNA, but she took on that emotion from her mom's womb. So it's just so interesting how we carry these things. One time I was working with a man, he almost ended up in jail because he hit a security guard. So his wife brought him into the office so we could find out what's underneath the anger. Come to find out, almost all his anger was in
her?
the DNA.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
So what happens is we were actually clearing the whole DNA through him. We called him a hero. He was clearing his DNA.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
You mentioned that a lot of it is the words we say to ourselves, and I know that you just became trained in self-talk, so could you tell us a little bit about that and the importance of it?
I'm loving self-talk. I was trained by Dr. Helmstetter, and Dr. Helmstetter wrote the book back in the 80s, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. And again, it's all about being positive. Then recently he wrote the book called The Power of Neuroplasticity, which means that we can rewire our brain. And so the self-talk is really watching what we're saying and editing it. I had learned before, when you find yourself saying something negative, you stop yourself, and then it's called CPR. So you cancel the negative, you reprogram it by saying, I am so sorry, self. What I meant to say was...
I can, or I will.
Exactly. So you cancel it, you change that, and then you create a positive at the end.
Now, wouldn't they say talking to yourself? I mean, people that talk to themselves, society deems as being crazy. But it's good to talk to yourself, to motivate, stuff like that.
If it's positive talk.
If it's positive talk.
But they say that 77% of our programming is actually negative. We grew up with a lot of negative programming as children. Our parents did the best they could.
Right.
We do the best we could and can do as parents, but we often pass on the negative programming to our kids. They say that in a relatively happy environment, we are told 148,000 times before we're 18, negative. You can't do this, or no. That's a lot of times.
I mean, that comes with, but that's the thing that, look, we tell our kids, don't cross the street unless you have all this teaching is really about no and guiding them. And then when they become adults, it's kind of, you let it go. So
that's true. But I remember when I was teaching 4th grade, there was a little boy that wasn't doing very well in math. And his mother said to him, oh, you'll never be good at math because I wasn't good at math.
Yeah.
It's not if he hears it once, but if he hears something over and over and over, you create a neural pathway, and then you act on that.
I mean, do you think that we can measure this by people's success?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Actually, we're all wired for success, but because of our negative programming, some people are wired for failure. Some people are wired for success, some people are in between. It depends on what we grow up with, what we hear, what we see, what we feel.
Right. Okay. It's like I always say that everybody can sing and everybody can dance. Everybody can do those things. It's the people that say, I can't sing, I can't dance, and they truly take that in and they believe it. But everybody can. We all have it. We can all do it.
I can sing, but not good.
But you can
I'm
sing.
With you.
But you
I
can sing.
I can sing. I can do anything. Whether I'm talented at it, that's a whole different issue. But you know what, Catherine, and we have to move on to our next guest. But I'm really kind of caught on this. Do you think that in today's world, everybody wins a trophy? That's the way it's set up. So it's trying to teach positive, but is that a good thing? Because I think that when you get out there in the world, life is about setbacks and getting better. you know, and going, growing. So,
and sometimes we have to fail in order to succeed.
Yes.
But how do we perceive that failure? Because I believe that everything that happens to us is a gift.
Yes.
Okay.
Even if it seems negative, what do we do with that? How do we perceive that? I think everything happens to us for a reason. It's actually pushing us to be the next best version of ourselves.
I agree.
I like that. I like that. Katherine, listen, tell our viewers and listeners out there where they can find you and all your wonderful information you provided us today.
My website is empoweringchangeinyou.com. And my office is actually in Marlton, New Jersey, but because of the work I do, I can do a lot of it through Skype, especially like emotion code, body code, and the emotional freedom technique.
Okay, awesome.
Great.
Well, I want to thank you for so much for coming on to Morning Coffee this morning. And we have to have you come back because, oh, you know what? We will have you come back. You know why? Because Katherine is going to be launching a new show here on Radio Vision Network. So welcome to our family.
Thank you.
You'll definitely be working with me as I deal with Charlene, my work wife. I need a lot.
Probably be your first guest.
I need a lot of counseling with that. And then when I'm stressed out, I'm going to have Doc over here work with me. You know, I'm going to get over this thing. I promise. So,
Good.
We're going to come right back after this commercial break with our next guest.